And none of the dyes really worked with Eve. I like her in the green best out of everything, so I'll send the dyes back there. I'm also going to keep hold of water, because apparently that is a thing that I can actually use in combat. Liam, the guy I saved.
The adventurer sleeps soundly, his breath steady, his wounds expertly bandaged.
With dirty, muddy water bandages. Great. Ah, Damon!
Thought I sensed an infernal around here. But you aren't from Elturel. What's your story?
I spent a good bit of time in the Hells. Enlisted against my will by the Archdevil Zariel. Same as you, I suppose, if you're from Elturel. The devils were delighted when your city was swallowed up. I thought they had you for keeps. Glad you got out.
I got lucky. It looks like you did too. And you brought some infernal machinery with you.
A little gift from Zariel. Keeps me burning hot.
Very hot by the smell of it. Might be burning out a piston ring or leaking oil. Mind if I take a listen?
I mean,
Be my guest. But don't get too close or your eyes will melt shut.
Who says he'll have his eyes shut?
Phew!
Wow.
You really are burning up. Whoever put that engine together tried to house metallogized demono valves inside a Ragnak's alloy casement.
Yeah.
Very risky. I might be able to help, but I'd need infernal iron and a prayer that my hammer will survive the work.
How much do you need?
That thing isn't meant to operate outside of Vernus. I'm not sure how much longer it'll keep running the way it's going.
Will you be able to turn down the temperature a little? Worried I'm gonna go in for a handshake and singe someone's arm off one of these days.
I'd worry about surviving the night first. But help one, help both. If we can cool you off, it'll stabilize your engine and allow you to touch whomever you please.
He's definitely flirting with her. 100%.
Soldier, I think we picked up some of that infernal iron already. What say you? Should I give it to him?
We're still talking about the iron. Absolutely, let's see what he can do. I'm not sure. Should we be tampering? Keep your eyes open. I'd like to know what it's worth. Absolutely, let's see what he can do.
Please let this work.
The weight of it. And that blaze of chaos. Can't imagine this where my heart should be. Must be quite the experience.
He's weirdly into this.
Give me just a moment.
Oh, I love a girl whose internal organs are made of demonic metal.
And I think... There. You'll have to install it, I'm afraid. I don't think there are thick enough gloves in all the realms to protect from that kind of heat.
Sorry, is she doing that right now?
That feels... good.
What?
I'm still burning hot as hell's hole, but I feel less... changeable.
What just...
Cheers, mate.
Pleasure. And as for the heat, I haven't got any solutions now, but I'm not giving up. Could be if the combustion chamber had its own insulation, or if we had some kind of enchanted coolant. Find me again in Baldur's Gate. If I'm worth my salt, I'll have figured something out by then. Take care, Karlach. And hopefully the next time I see you, I'll have something promising to report. Pocket any infernal iron you find along the way,
She didn't tell you her name? Yeah, he was weirdly into that. That was a very strange interaction. He was getting off on that in at least one or two ways. But how exactly did she install it, in inverted commas? It's like stood in front of a group of people, she just sort of reaches at her chest, and suddenly this hammered bit of infernal iron is now, what, on her heart? In place of her? I don't know what... That was a really weird bit.
Damon's upgrade didn't cool me down, but it did juice me up.
And he's invisible.
ever felt more powerful.
He's invisible, he's a ghost. That's how he got it in there, ghost magic. Let's find some evil for you to smack. We'll find more Infernal Iron and get you that second upgrade too. I still can't touch you though. I mean, I could probably manage it. We'll find more Infernal Iron and get you that second upgrade too.
Sooner rather than later would be good. I feel like I'm burning serious fuel.
Let's find you something to burn. Sounds volatile. I'll keep an eye on you. Will you be alright?
Oh, fuck yes. I'm ready to burn all night.
Well.
Speaking of, I could eat a giant badger. Is it almost time for dinner?
Alright, Ghost Man.
You saved us. I wasn't sure we'd make it through.
Let me see your
I wish I had
wares.
better, but this is all I have.
I only have a little bit more to sell because what's his name bought everything else. Would you like some shoes and a couple of paintings? I'm sure you could do so much with that. I'm noting that none of these are marked as Gale can absorb them. I'm wondering if that means he won't anymore. I bought some metallic gloves because Shadowheart is the only one without gloves on, and these give a +1 to saving throws. It looks like the goblin prisoner is dead. I wonder what happened to Sazza. Hello, strange ox. Are you feeling left out of the big druid meeting that's presumably going on? Snuff. Yes, very snuff. Karlak,
Oh, I could go for a good meal.
would you care to talk with an animal right now?
Engineer?
You're addressing me, a humble ox. How quaint.
There's something strange about this ox. What is it? Haven't you ever met someone who could speak to an ox? And did you come from Elturel with the others? Elturel with the others? Yeah, let's just blank the fact that it's weird.
I suppose I did. Yes. I had quite a life in Elturel. Chewing cud, pulling carts, etc.
What a terrible voice for an ox. Ah, yes, I love to chew cud. Haven't you ever met anyone who could speak to oxen?
A druid or two, I suppose. But the novelty remains fresh.
A druid or two? When stood in the middle of a druid grove? Can someone do better work with Arcana? -1. Try. Get guidance. No, she managed it.
Something's off. This creature isn't what it appears to be.
I mean, obviously. There's more to you than meets the eye. Care to explain?
No. You are incapable.
Bit rude, mate. Ah, look, I'm a devil for gossip. I wonder if that is because it's Karlak. Well, I've got no bonuses to persuasion or deception, but a +2 with intimidation, but I don't feel like that's the right tone here. Come on, old chap, I'm a devil for gossip. Nice one.
I'll tell you this much. I'm going to Baldur's Gate, with or without the rest of these poor sods. Now, that's all I have to say besides, and I really mean this, moo.
I feel like you don't mean that.
Tick-tock.
Well, that sounds threatening. Are you going to explode now? What are you doing over here, Mattis?
I'm glad you didn't die. No discounts once I'm running the wide at Baldur's Gate, mind.
The Wide. Running the Wide. What does that mean? Oh, Halsin and Karga. Where the hell are the other druids then?
You deserve to be banished.
Then banish me. When the coming army marches, there will be none to protect you.
You took it upon yourself to undertake the Rite of Thorns. I ought to exile you from this place. Forever. Instead, I shall listen to the explanation that you owe me.
I owe you nothing. Goblins swarmed us like roaches while you stumbled after the past. You chose to abandon us. I chose to protect us.
Silence! The rite has been ended. I will allow you to stay, but consider yourself a novice anew. You have forgotten the ways of the druids, our place in the natural order. You shall learn it all once again, right here. Backslide, and nature's fury will crush you.
As you wish. Master Halsin.
I feel like she might kill him in his sleep. She has that vibe about her, and the way she walked away there is, don't look back, don't grab your weapon. That's all? She tried to imprison a child.
A misjudgment. One that should weigh heavily upon her. But the Grove still needs her passion. You will soon see why. But enough of that for now. I owe you my thanks. The Grove stands. Nature prevails. I owe you my thanks. And an introduction. I am Halsin, First Druid of the Emerald Grove. And I sense you have a problem you seek my help with.
Yeah, they're druids. They're tieflings. Wait, how did you get here?
I was an unwilling guest of the goblins. But your efforts left them in disarray, and I was able to escape.
I wondered if that was it. Because someone commented to say that they didn't know Halsin could escape. So presumably the fact that I killed the leaders before going to see him meant that he just got out on his own. I don't know what you mean. What problem? Should ask before you do that.
That problem. You're infected with the Mind Flare spawn, aren't you? Oak Father preserve you, child. But something's different. You're aware of the monster inside you. You don't bow to the Absolute, like the true souls do. How is this possible?
Well, I'm being protected by a dream elf? Is that connected? I don't know.
It's no coincidence that we found each other, I'll wager. You're after a cure for this parasite.
No, I'm good.
Someone is using very powerful magic to modify these tadpoles. They're using them to exert control over the infected.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say, I can't undo that magic. I can't cure you. But that doesn't mean I can't help. At the Goblin camp, I hoped to find a way to remove the tadpoles. I failed, but I did find the next best thing. I found out where they come from. I will do what I can to help you. Let us speak tomorrow. You and I both have matters to see to first. As for what you've done for the Grove, speak to Wrath.
He's right behind me.
He will see to your reward.
I mean, he's invisible. I acted to save my kin, not this place. That just seems mean. You know, two birds with one stone. Alright, that raises a lot of questions. First of all, the fact that he apparently went to find a way to remove these tadpoles means this has been a problem way before the Illithid ship crashed here. That was a coincidence. This place is infested with Mind Flayer parasites, unconnected to the Mind Flayers, and seemingly spread and controlled by the Absolute. Meaning that the Absolute is not working with the Mind Flayers, which is an impression I got when I saw the dead Mind Flayer there. It seems they are probably a separate faction, which is fascinating. I'm now reconsidering, well, I've been reconsidering for a while, that the Absolute is Shah or Saluna. I don't think they are. I think they were just squatting in that temple. I was certain. I was really certain, but no, I've changed my mind. I guess the question is whether it is actually a god or whether it's a person. Because there is still the possibility that the Absolute isn't an actual god, whether it's like an entity or a very powerful person. Now Mistra has been added to the mix. That adds another possibility. You know, it's another important name that is affecting the world. And I know that D&D is full of these big important names, but it's the nature of a game and indeed a campaign to not throw 50 names at you and have, oh yes, these are all incredibly powerful entities, but actually none of those are connecting it. You know, it's the nature of these things for them to give you the options, and one of them is important. Not guaranteed, but that's the nature of these things. What happens next?
The journey to Moonrise Towers, and all the dangers that entails. But that's tomorrow's problem. Take some time for yourself tonight. Rest, celebrate. Come morning, I'll be by your side.
Okay.
What of them?
They are our guests until they wish to leave, as I said the day they arrived.
But they blinded you to truth. Outsiders bring only chaos.
And what have you brought? Harmony? Balance?
She just froze mid-step to complain. Great.
You think you saved us? You just prolonged the inevitable. Sooner or later, other outsiders will bring trouble to the Grove.
Isn't that the case of all things? There are always new threats. Existence is about fighting those threats one at a time, until you are alive long enough to face the next one. Thinking that you can have a world or a life completely devoid of threats is naive.
I know you stopped the goblins, but I can't stop looking over my shoulder. Makes it hard to sleep at night.
I am surprised there aren't more people who are like, you massacred an entire race of creatures. They may have been hostile, but they were still living creatures. Nobody so far has had a go at me about that.
I wasn't sure about you at first. Thought you might be trouble. I was very wrong.
Very nice of you to say.
We're free of the goblins, but the Grove is changed. Wounded. The days ahead won't be easy. I'm glad we have Halsin to guide us.
And I'm wondering if they're... okay. Grunt. Quite. I'm wondering if there's anyone who's like a Karga loyalist.
Do you hear them? The birds. They're beautiful. I've thought of nothing but goblins and tieflings for so long. I stopped listening.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, just say that to a tiefling. Nothing wrong there.
We wasted so much time fighting each other. Sylvanas taught us a lesson by letting an outsider save us.
Sure. Yeah. Topaz? You okay? You just re-sorting your money pile? Oh, there's a shiny key in there. I kinda want the shiny key. Asterion, bring me the shiny key. No, I'm probably fine.
I hear the goblin leaders met their ends. Unfortunate for them, but very fortunate for the Grove.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's a nice measured thing. That, because, that's a sort of a balance of nature kind of argument that was lacking in the other one. That, yeah, wild-shaped bear. It actually says if they are wild-shaped. Good to know. Yeah, it's because there should be that balance of nature thing that, yeah, what's good for the antelope... Sorry, what's good for the lion is bad for the antelope type thing. You're just going to ignore me, Magran? Sure, okay. Ignore me then.
Still breathing.
I don't care. I'm not offended. Harpy's still dead? Yep. What's going on in here? Wrath.
You done it. You brought Halsin back. Thank you.
No. Thanks is not enough. May Sylvanas bless you for all your days. I cannot imagine taking on a camp full of goblins was a simple task.
For someone like me, pretty simple, think nothing of it. It was a hell full of blood and ash. I'm here for the reward. Think nothing of it. I'm glad Halsin is safe.
As am I. The Grove will be whole again. And I promised you a reward, didn't I? Let me show you on your map where you can find the cache. Take this rune. You'll need it.
Ooh, magic key.
Place it among the pedestals inside our library.
Oh!
When the wolf glows brightest, everything in the vault below will be yours.
Okay. So it is possible to loot that. Anyway.
Peace. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Okay, I really thought she'd be more pissed off.
You did this Grove a great favour. And now leave the rest to us.
Nicest possible way you could have said, piss off, I'm tired of you.
I think it's high time you all left. Our sacred grove has sheltered you enough.
Did you see that door open in the background? Where were you during the attack?
Within the inner sanctum, of course. It is not for us to fight your battles.
Wow. You disgust me. I'll be on my way soon.
Make it quick. You're disrupting the harmony of this holy place.
Knob.
Peace is returning to the Grove. We have you to thank for that.
It's funny the way people keep sort of crouching down. It's a very weird action. Oh yeah, this was the way.
To tidy this place.
The bookcase. That's the glowing statues. I wonder if this is going to connect to that other bit I've already been to. Ooh, what is deceased dissected drow? Okay, wasn't expecting that. Nettie, what are you doing?
Blessed day. I was worried I'd never see Master Halsin again. Thank you for everything you've done.
You're very welcome.
I don't know if I can ever restore Sylvanas' peace to this place. But I'll have the chance. Thanks to you.
One drow at a time. Ooh. Ooh. What's in the pouch? What's in the pouch? Okay, sure. Really generous. Although, speaking of which, how do I alchemize? Apparently there's like there's a quick extract. Yeah, that's much quicker and easier than doing it individually. 4 recipes. Oil of Accuracy, that's new, I think. Alchemist... Oh no, Alchemist Fire is new because it's got the exclamation mark. Arcane Cultivation, Cultivation Greater, so I bet that'll be a level 2 potion. What do I need for that? Suspension of Laculite. Bloodlust. Fire Resistance. Animal Speaking Featherfall. Alright, let's make 2 of those. And 1 of those. Because they're the best ones. So Nettie, what have you been doing in here? Mind Flare.
A parasite. Take it. It might be useful.
I don't like that you seem to be watching me at all times. Exhausted? Why on earth is the... the heal bird is was exhausted, but is no longer. Bottled Blooms. Autumn Crocus. Bottled Tentacles. Bottled Eye. Anatomical sketches of both a drow and an elithid tadpole are accompanied by notes written in an urgent scribble. The parasite was nestled deeper in the brain matter, elithid undoubtedly, yet the host was seemingly unaware while alive. No visible signs of ceremorphosis on the cadaver, most strange. Altered? Halsin's journal. Extraordinary happenings. While meditating in the forest, Nettie and I were ambushed by a pack of goblins led by a drow. We had no choice but to defend ourselves. But that is not the extraordinary, or rather disturbing, part. On the drow's death, a parasitic creature emerged from the corpse and attempted to escape. I managed to capture it and have the host's cadaver here in my study. I've told no one of my fears. Nettie suspects, but knows better than to ask. She doesn't want to know the things I do in my back room. Especially when I take corpses. Oh my god. I will investigate further before informing the others. Cargo will demand answers I don't yet have. I'd better record any further findings in a separate journal and keep them upon my person, lest prying eyes jump to the wrong conclusions. Yeah, but leaving this one here is perfectly fine. More tentacles. More parasite.
This one is a true soul parasite. It can enhance you.
Well.
You can absorb its potential. Open your mind to it. You already know how.
Aren't I already a true soul parasite? So there are distinctly 2 levels. So the branding, I thought the branding was, like the branding on the lower level ones was just a sort of... Alright, I'm going to make a Dishonored reference here. In Dishonored, you get, some people have the mark of the outsider. It's a thing that's sort of gifted to them by the god, the outsider, and it gives them supernatural powers. If the people with the mark form sort of strong social bonds with other people, they can then pass those abilities on. So Dowd had the mark of the outsider, and his whaler gang could also use the powers even though none of them had the mark. So that's like, I guess that's what's going on. That's what I thought it was, rather, that some of them had parasites and then they could spread that control to other people, but it seems in fact there are just 2 kinds of parasites. I'm not sure about this.
Don't worry. You won't come to harm. I'll protect you.
You didn't protect me last time I opened my mind to this. No.
You are not ready. That's all right. But try to overcome this resistance sooner rather than later. It will make things much easier for you.
That sounded vaguely threatening.